Yeah.
Hi, I'm Becky and I'm one of the audience members.
I'm Jenna, I'm her daughter.
I'm Lauren and I'm just an audience member as well.
Okay, today we're going to talk about some different herbs, and we're going to talk about ways that you can plant them to grow at home for use as fresh herbs, as well as ways to preserve them to use after the growing season is over. So the first thing you'd want to do is decide what kind of herbs goes best with the kind of foods that you cook. So you can grow them, actually there's several different ways to start plants. You can start them as seeds in little peat pots, and then once they take root you can put them into like pots with soil. They actually would grow in any container just about that you want to use. Another way is to buy plants that have already started like this. You can get them at the farmer's market. Actually most of the grocery stores now have these in their fresh produce section. They have small pots of them, and then just get your terracotta pots work really well. So if you get terracotta pots, fill them with good soil and then just take them out of this and replant them in that. These are actually pots that we use in our kitchen at home, so I have 3 or 4 of these at a time growing in the kitchen, and then that way you have fresh herbs and they'll last year round. Other ways that you can is out in a garden. So if you have a garden spot in your house, go ahead and you can put those just straight into the soil. They grow big. This is an example of oregano, and you can see it kind of spreads out on the ground, and it literally will grow to be as big as this pot or bigger, and it comes back every year. This one is rosemary. There are 2 different kinds of basils. Basil grows is one of our favorites, and it grows, this is Thai basil, which has a little bit of a spice to it, and then this is just the regular classic basil. There's also a purple, there's also one that's even a little bit, there's a hot one that's even hotter than the Thai. So once you decide which ones you want to grow, the key to making them produce the best possible plants is to cut them back a little bit. So for example, if you don't need to use it fresh and you still want to grow it and have it keep coming back, just cut off like this rosemary. This is a patio pot, and you can use these outside and then bring them in the winter. If you bring your herbs in, you want to bring them in before the first frost, because once it frosts it will kill them. So what you haven't used, you need to plan to bring in before it frosts, and in your garden, go ahead and just cut them off and bring them in. This you could bring the whole thing in. But in, like if this was growing out in your garden, you could just cut it off at the bottom before it frosts and bring it in. Another way, I don't think I told you this, that you can grow them is to take starts of the leaves and put them into water, and they actually will start rooting. And when they root, then you can just plant these into the soil. So that's another way you could start them. So this one is growing outside in a patio, and it's been a little bit neglected because we haven't had to use it as much, but you would cut this back, your rosemary back, and it would actually start bushing up. You can see the basil, we've used it more, and it's kind of bushed up, which is what you want to see. When you cut off on basil especially, cut it like where there's there's a new growth above it, so that this right here will then go and the plant will continue to grow. So for basil, just one of our favorite recipes is anything with tomatoes, mozzarella cheese, and basil. So you can just use it in salads, you can use it on pizza breads, you make it with zucchini, put zucchini and then put the sauce on it, and then put the fresh basil and stuff on it as well. Once you grow them and you want to preserve them at your house, there's different ways. This is rosemary, and you can just put them together and tie it with a little piece of twine, kind of like this, and then hang it up anywhere in your house where there's not humidity. So you wouldn't want to put it in a bathroom or anything like that. But put it in your kitchen, your pantry, or any place where it will dry. Other ways you can use it is by putting it in oil. So get like a good olive oil, put sprigs of rosemary in it. You can put basil, you can put more than one different herb if you want to, and it will infuse your oil with the flavor. You can also put it in vinegars to make herb-infused vinegars to use with salads and things as well. For some of these make good butters, like if you take a butter and kind of melt it, chop up some basil, chop up some rosemary and put it in there, then you would have herb butters that you can use. So this is also show you once they start getting a little bit too big, they'll start seeding on top, and you need to pinch that off or it will stunt the growth of the plant. So this is dill. Once dill grows, and to dry it, you just cut it off in pieces. If you don't, it gets to be about 3 feet tall, and it gets real woody, and it's not good to use after that. This would be basil, and once it dries, it just kind of looks like this. You can use it, once it gets this dry, then you're ready to take it and crush it up. And these are some examples of what it looks like once you crush it. So this would be a jar of already crushed up basil. And then this would be, we've had some oregano that we've crushed up and used in here as well. So that's just like a real quick rundown of how you can grow herbs to use for fresh or to preserve them after season.